Well. Race week's here. It's currently Thursday. I'm going to put this video out today, and then the next video we'll see will be of like the pre-race day, sort of getting all my stuff sorted, the race itself, and then some reflection on it. But yeah, race week's here, and well, taper time. So got my last few like decent sort of sessions done this week. Body's feeling pretty good, as good as I guess you kind of hope for in a taper week. There's always endless like thoughts, overanalyzing every little bit, everything you feel, overanalyzing it, blowing it out of a bit of proportion. But yeah, otherwise body is feeling good. Just trying to stay as relaxed and off the legs as I can outside of the sessions that I'm doing. But bottom line is the work's done now. I've just got to kind of freshen up and get to the start line feeling as close to as good as I can. So yeah, it's been a good build. Seen some of the best sort of pace numbers for effort that I've seen running ever. So pretty excited about what I can produce in the race. Yeah, the legs were feeling a bit heavy at the start of the week, but I think that's expected once you kind of finish the build. 4 or 5 weeks of like solid 80 to 90k run weeks with some big like 2 and 3 day blocks in there of like 50k plus over 2 or 3 days. So I think that fatigue's expected, especially going into a taper where your body starts to kind of has the time to adapt and recover. You kind of feel the weight a bit more, and then as that adaptation happens and then you freshen up, that's when you get ready to perform. So kind of just coming off the back of that like deload at the moment where it kind of feels heavy and now starting to feel good. So yeah, getting excited. Obviously, yeah, overthinking a few things going into the race, going through my nutrition strategy all the time, trying to think about like what happens if I can't get this or something else happens, wondering if I've got the right sort of strategy. But I think you just got to trust what you've done, trust what you've put in process, and yeah, kind of have a bit of faith in the training you've done and the sort of plans you've set up, when you're probably mentally a bit more not as stressed, not as in the moment as I kind of am in a few days leading out. But yeah, have the faith that those plans will hold you in good stead. So on to probably just break down a little bit of the race plan. No idea who's showing up. Could be anyone under the sun come down to Canberra. But essentially my plan's just to go out with the lead of the race as long as there's no Brett Robertson here, who's I think he's just a record holder for the marathon now. So as long as he's not here, I'm going to go out with the front of the race based off historical results in the Canberra Marathon. That's probably going to be around that 113 for the first half, which I feel like should feel quite comfortable for me. And then basically check in at the halfway point, because that's kind of when the meaty part of the course starts. There's a lot more hills in the second half of the course. Obviously, the fatigue in the legs will be a lot more in the second half of the course. And there's a lot more factors at play, I feel, in that second half of the course. The first half of the course is like there's some undulations, but it's mostly pretty straightforward. And you're not really going to win the race in the first 21k, maybe even 30k. I'm just going to aim to go out with whatever the front of the race looks like. Obviously, if it's like nowhere near pace, I'll just run my own pace. But if it's like around that 3:30 mark, I'll just go with that. If it's a bit quicker, then great. If it's maybe like 3:35, I might still stick there. But yeah, around that 3:30 pace, I'll try and just stick with the lead group. I'll drive that if I have to, just to slim it out a bit. But yeah, getting into, I guess, the main part of the course, or the first real selection point, I suppose, will be coming in off Kings Avenue Bridge at about 22k. We head up a solid maybe like k and a half, 2k uphill that starts off relatively like gentle and then gets more gradient as the further we get in. So basically that'll be a pretty solid portion of the course, up to like 22 to 25k. My plan's just to run that not crazy, but like solid, make that kind of a difficult portion for everyone, and then settle back in, hopefully get through the Western Park segment of the course, which is like 25 through to just over 30k. And then in the last 10k, there's a lot of like key points, key parts of the course that will really break it up and really opportunities to stretch it out. So it goes from Western Park, for anyone that knows Canberra. Western Park along the front of the lake, and along there's a few rollers uphill and downhill, and I feel like at 32k's that's going to hurt the legs just as much going downhill on the quads as it will uphill on the body. So the aim is basically just to run the uphills fairly solid and just try and extend out on the downhills, let the body lean into it, roll along pretty smooth. And then, that's along the front of the lake. Then there's probably like a 2k flat section, which is kind of where I'll set up to make, like, if there's still a pack, I'll set up there probably to make a final selection or a final push. Because then between like 37 and like there's a 2k section from about 37k's that's basically uphill and fairly solid uphill. And obviously at 30k into a race, that's going to be pretty tough. So I pretty much plan to just in that flat section before that run solid tempo, but have some reserved. And then if I'm in a group at that stage, just kind of give that 2k uphill, basically almost empty the tank, knowing that there's basically 2-3k downhill or flat after that to the finish line. Almost there's just one little small hill at the end, but that's not really going to make a difference, I don't think. So I think, if I'm in a group at that 35, 36k mark, just preparing to make that move, and from there, just 2k solid uphill, and then again try and roll the downhill, stretch it out, and then go from there. So that's the race plan. Obviously, plans don't always go to plan, so it'll be fun out there on the day. Good luck to anyone that's racing on the 5-10k on the Saturday, or the half marathon or marathon on the Sunday. And it's looking like it's going to be a bit chilly on Sunday morning especially, so you'll see in the next video my race gear setup and what I've gone for. But really looking forward to the race, looking forward to seeing what the legs have got in them, and also looking forward to racing on home roads in front of a lot of family and friends, so that'll be great. And thanks for following along the series. Hope you've enjoyed it. This is kind of just like a talk back little video before race day, but I'll be sure to get hopefully heaps of content from the race and a couple of days before. So next video will be hopefully pretty sick. And hopefully on Sunday something pretty special happens. So that's the plan. And now we just rest up, taper up, hydrate up, fuel up, get the carb load in, try and tick off all the boxes to deliver myself to the start line, and then let the body do the rest to get me to the finish line. So thanks for following along, and hopefully see you out on course or after the race if you're in Canberra. Otherwise, thanks for watching.